This is the soft Otaku dancing crane. Hope you like this video.
Everybody, this is Ori calling you from my gaming layer. This is a response video to my friend Soft Taco or Soft Otaku. Actually, Otaku means in Japanese in the house, so kind of like that's the geek how geeks are seen in Japan as people who are spending time in the house, and we are all otakus spending time in the house or in the office. We all have to geek on something, right? So this is a response video I'm doing. I hope you liked my origami crane I did especially for your ass, and I really enjoy watching all the community's videos, and I got excited not only just for the price, but it's a couple of good questions, and anyway, I was kind of like thinking about a couple of like new concept about videos to do, or even like generally motivation, and this got me motivated to do video. And so I chose a couple of questions that I would like to address, and hopefully you will enjoy the video. I'm enjoying making it, so let's do it. So let's go first with a couple of recommendations of less appreciated or less known video games that are out there, and let's start. First one I would like to do is, well, let me show first the console. This game that I would like to recommend or talk about is for the, I don't know if I should say underappreciated, because if you underappreciate this console, then it kind of deserves it. It is the half-assed Amiga CD32. This is the Amiga CD32. Like you can see, I RGB modded it also. And the game that I would like to recommend for this console is Banshee. Now, Banshee, I guess it's kind of, this game kind of tells the story of this console, which is kind of like half greatness, half-assness. And the story is like this, when I grew up, I was really interested by the Amiga computer, but I didn't have money or access to play it. Actually, I didn't have it, and all I saw, it was in the 16 and 8-bit era when I grew up in France. I always saw in the magazines, beautiful images of the Amiga games. And now, being a grown-up, I was considering buying an Amiga 500, but having, the floppy disk are really unreliable, and so unfortunately I had to pass on getting Amiga 500. So my next option was the Amiga CD32. And this console, its history, it was kind of like half-assed, because even though it is on par with the Amiga 1200, it's got the AGA chip, which kind of like give it more calculating capabilities, more colors, clearer graphics. This console had a great potential of being like a consoleized Amiga, so everybody could enjoy the great Amiga games. And the whole Euro gaming scene, there were many great games for the Amiga 500, like Blues Brothers, many shmups. I cannot count how many games I wanted to play. And this console was kind of half-assed because it couldn't run most, like 90% of the Amiga 500 or 1200. It couldn't run them because it didn't have enough RAM in it to run it. It was not designed to run the traditional Amiga games. It only ran CD-based games that some of them were adapted, so they had like better music, obviously, having the CD support, and some introduction scenes, some full motion videos, but it was not an Amiga console. And all the other companies in the same time kind of enjoyed and developed the new technology. So they developed the PlayStation and Sega developed the Saturn. So this console kind of fell behind, not only because they didn't put enough technology in it, and it was not, it didn't have the retro capabilities of playing the Amiga 500. So here comes Banshee. It's a great shmup, and it was also kind of half-assed. Why am I saying that? Because this game has great graphics. It has great graphics. The playability is good. I modded arcade stick for the Amiga 32, so the playability became good, and the graphics are good. It's a steampunk game. Even the CD is nice. It's a steampunk sort of game. Graphics kind of remind of the Chaos Engine, which is another game that I love, and it's also ported. It's kind of like top-down run and gun game from the Amiga, and it was ported to the Mega Drive and also to the Amiga 32. So this game is great in many aspects. Long levels, many details, great graphics, cool weapons. It has a real depth of a consoleized shooter, and it was half-assed because this game has no music, so it's crazy. You get like this awesomely detailed game, long game with cool enemies, funny things happening on screen, and no music. It's a CD-based game. It's a standalone game. It's not a part of a compilation. It's a bona fide game. It should have been I don't know. I wouldn't say a system seller, but it should have been one of the one of the major titles of the CD32. And there's no music. There's only shooting sounds, and there's not many sounds actually. There's only like the sound of your motor when you're flying, and the sound of your machine gun, and that's it. There's almost no sounds and no music, so it kind of tell the story of the Amiga 32, kind of doing half job. So it's very unfortunate. It took me a long time to find a working Amiga 32. I even bought a replacement lens, so I have a few titles for this console. But this game, it's less known. And it's a fantastic game. I recommend anybody who has access to play it. I think it came out also on the Amiga 500. So that's my first game that I can recommend. Second game is for the Super Famicom. This is my yellowish Super Famicom, also RGB modded. The reason I RGB modded this one is because so it can work with my RGB monitors, so I can get a component out of it, and I added a stereo to it. And the game that I would like to recommend is Populous 2. It's a great game that you play a god. Actually, this game never came in a European or American version, I don't think so. And like the first game, you play a god, but in this case you play the god of the Olympus. So you have, in contrast to the first game, you have a lot of types of magic, a lot of death and destruction that you can bring to your unbeliever. Basically, in this game, you guide your people. Surprise, surprise. I mean, so many myths and religions are based on a god that punish and kills whoever tries to compete with his own people, right? So the box has great artwork. Great with artwork. I got this game actually first when I was working as a teenager and got saved enough money to buy an import version of it because I got so interested in the concept of playing a god. So in this you play like a Greek god, and you countless types of death and destruction and disease that you can bring to the unbelievers. So it's a great game. Have many levels, many terrains, many worlds to play on. I really recommend this game. It's a fantastic game, not well known. The first game is kind of known, but the second one, Trials of the Olympus Gods. I don't know how many people know about it, but it's super playable. You don't have to know Japanese for this one. It's like plug and play. It's a great game, very addictive, very dramatic. So this covers the first question, and the second question I will try to go briefly. and it's a question of, very important question of why gaming isn't a waste of time. And like Otaku said, it can be a waste of time and money. It depends, again, what you do with your life. I believe in life you need to harness every hobby, everything that you do. You need to harness it together to build yourself up, right? And like everything in life, it's like building a portfolio of yourself, and you need to, maybe you don't, maybe if you're a real gamer, you can learn how to fix. I mean, I learned by playing I learned about electronics, how to mod. I developed I hope a good taste about gaming, like what appreciation of design and everything. And I can say that I fell in love with video games since I was a kid, and I did spend a lot of time playing it, but I spent a lot of time working so I could afford playing video games. I as a teenager, I worked a lot, and I was able to buy a console and then sell it, and then buy another one and try, and then I don't know, I can say about myself that it helped me build myself. I learned Japanese eventually. I'm a Japanese speaker. I'm not the best Japanese speaker, but I can speak and read Japanese because I really always liked Japanese games. I wouldn't say I married a Japanese, my wife is Japanese. I wouldn't say that because of the video games, not at all. But I would definitely say that one of the reasons I learned Japanese is because of video games. And my job actually is, I can definitely say that my career really revolves around video games. In my specific case, I work in architecture and engineering, and I work with specific software that every project that I'm working on, it is designed as a game pretty much. I do a lot of programming and a lot of mathematics and geometry and everything that is programming related. That's my specialty, and it came from video games because I always want to know how this media is being made, and about the technology and math behind it. So even though not all my life I knew it, that video games, there's a reason that I do it, but it definitely kind of, everything kind of like came together. I think right now in my life things came together that I'm really into video games, and the technical aspect of video games, but there was a reason for that. I stayed true to the video games, I can say, through all my life, and it kind of like gave me back a lot, because I have a nice collection now, and I can fix, and I have a good appreciation of the media. So I think the bottom line why it's not a waste of time, it's like everything in life, it can be a waste of time and money. You just need to harness it to serve as a mean to build, to build yourself in terms of job, in terms of career, in terms of interacting with other people. So that's my philosophy. I obviously, I don't believe it's a waste of time and money. In my case, it can be. It's up to everybody to interpret, this art form. But that's what I think about it. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. And yeah, Soft Taco, do more videos. And we love you, man. Stay true, man. Peace.